Italian Football Podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to this special post-match reaction pod on the Italian Football Podcast. I'm Carlo Garganese and I'm reacting to two of the big matches from the opening evening of the new Serie A season. I'm going to start off with Napoli first, who won 2-0 away at Sassuolo for a perfect start to their defence of the title that they won last season. And it was a very comfortable win for Napoli, who never really needed to get out of first gear against the newly promoted Sassuolo. They very rarely threatened, did Sassuolo. Napoli controlled the game from start to finish without ever really overexerting themselves. It was Scott McTominay who started off where he left off last season with, of course, everyone knows he was the player of the season in Serie A last season, 12 goals, 6 assists, the main man in Napoli winning that Scudetto, especially in the final stretch. And it was McTominay who opened the scoring in this game with a trademark run into the box and a trademark header, burying a header from a Politano cross. And McTominay had another outstanding performance. He also hit the bar, and he was always a threat in the opposition box. But also the other story of the day was, of course, Kevin De Bruyne making his debut for Napoli after that incredible move, free transfer from Manchester City in the summer. And De Bruyne scored on his debut. He scored the second goal for Napoli, a free kick from the left-hand side, curling in, beating everybody, and going into the far corner. It was the dream debut for De Bruyne. He was a threat on a number of occasions. He nearly scored with virtually his first touch. Right at the beginning, he had a volley. He did a great pass for a big chance that Rachmani had at 0-0, and you could see his class already, De Bruyne, with some of his touches. But I think maybe the biggest positive for Napoli from this game was that we saw straight away, and if there was one risk maybe or fear before the game, it was, can McTominay and De Bruyne coexist in the same system, seeing as they're both attacking midfielders. They both like to sometimes occupy the same kind of areas, at least on paper. And Conte started with a 4-1-4-1 with McTominay starting from more on the left and De Bruyne in a more central attacking midfield position. But actually, both players had quite a lot of freedom and license to move around. And McTominay was coming into the centre more and making those runs into the box from the left into the centre. A bit like Cristiano Ronaldo used to do, actually, when he first moved over to the left at Real Madrid, and have that license to come in and be unmarked. And obviously McTominay is incredible at that. That's great to see, the fact that these two already both scored and already seem to be able to coexist. And McTominay even went centre forward later on in the game when Lorenzo Luca came off. So, yeah, that was impressive. I think Napoli's midfield was impressive. They're going to control a lot of games this season with Lobotka and De Bruyne in the team. And this midfield's really got a bit of everything. It's got the control, it's got the physique with Anguissa and McTominay. It's got the goals in it, of course. It's got creativity. I think they probably need another centre midfielder. They definitely need to sign another centre midfielder if they're going to play all these midfielders together, because they won't have enough players on the bench and in the squad. But yeah, this is a really impressive group of midfielders that Napoli have got. So good performance. I thought Rachmani was very good at centre-back. Politano was good. He got an assist. Mixed debut for Lorenzo Luca in attack. He put himself about, but he's going to have to improve his touch. His touch was a bit heavy at times today. He missed a sitter as well. But, it's first game and, Conte's going to work with him. But I think we saw that why Napoli are trying to sign another striker, because he I don't think Napoli are going to be able to rely just on Lukaku until Lukaku's back towards Christmas. But yeah, really good game for Napoli. Sassuolo, though, disappointing for me. Nothing in attack, despite, on paper having having goals in that attack. I think Pinamonti was terrible. Berardi, did nothing. Loriente was probably the only threat. But yeah, they never really threatened. It was very easy for Napoli today. And yeah, I think that the idea that Sassuolo seem to be, most people saying, they'll be okay. There's nothing to worry about them. I think they're still going to have to fight to avoid relegation this season. Obviously, it's Napoli and they're not going to play Napoli every week. But yeah, I think that Sassuolo are going to be in a fight again for relegation this season. I'm not saying they'll go down, but they're not going to be able to. They're not going to cruise to safety. That's for sure. The other game of the night, which has just finished just now, I started recording this just as it was an injury time. Milan against Cremonese, and we have our first shock already of the season. Milan losing at home to Cremonese, 2-1. A huge shock against the newly promoted side, who everybody has down for relegation. It's not the start to the season that Milan wanted. There has been some, a little bit of hope among fans and people within Italian football that Milan could even maybe launch a Scudetto challenge. And based on tonight's evidence, they're going to need to improve a lot, because this is really the worst start to the season they could possibly have. They really were let down. Well, a few things, but first of all, this game confirmed that the defense is not strong enough. This is something that we said in our preview early this week of the Serie A season, and the goals that they conceded off crosses with non-existent marking. All pre-season, it's been clear the defense isn't strong enough. They conceded 4 against Chelsea. I was at that game. They conceded 8 in 4 games against the English teams that they played against, so against the kind of higher level teams. And then to concede 2 against a team like Cremonese today. They sold Thiaw. They brought in De Winter. They're going to need at least another centre-back, which they are trying to get at least another one, because the centre-backs that started today, they're going to concede goals. Even with Allegri, who is generally good at tightening up defences, they need defenders in. And Pavlovic was a villain and a hero today in the fact that he scored the equaliser, but his defending wasn't good enough tonight. I mean, the first goal, he's lost Scudetto on that goal. He made a big mistake before that where he gifted the ball to Bonazzoli. He could have scored. And even for the winner from Bonazzoli, he's marking no one there. Maybe it was his man, maybe not. But all in all, Pavlovic not good enough. The defence as a whole, not good enough. The marking, the box defending, not good enough. And the attack as well, for playing against a team like Cremonese, apart from a period at the start of the second half, for about 10 minutes at the start of the second half, where Milan had a flurry of chances and it looked like they were going to take the lead before the sucker punch goal from Bonazzoli. And after that, Milan struggled to create much. Apart from that, not enough in attack. Too predictable. Obviously, Rafael was injured. Milan cannot be too reliant on Leao in attack this season. We know that Allegri is something I've spoken about a lot in the last years. Allegri's weakness in his second spell at Juventus was a struggle to score goals and create chances, and that was due to him not having those attacking patterns of play, just leaving it up to the attackers to do their thing. And obviously, if you don't have Rafael Leao, then that's a problem, because he's able to create out of nothing and he's able to create those chances. So, Milan are looking to bring in 2 forwards. They're on obviously Boniface and another one, maybe Harder, from Sporting Lisbon. They're going to probably need them. The positives, I thought Modric had a decent debut. He's still a class act on the ball. I thought Salamakers was really good. He was the most dangerous attacking player. It was thanks to him, the first goal that they scored. Apart from that, it's a big disappointment. We have to give a shout out to Sassuolo, to 2 players. Scudetto, moving from Lecce this summer, and he scores with a bullet header and his celebration, flexing his muscles. And then he does for the winner this extravagant back heel. I mean, Bascarotto was doing everything today. He was everywhere. But Bonazzoli's winner, wow. I mean, we've got an early contender for goal of the season. It's just this outrageous bicycle kick, scissor kick, acrobatic. It reminded me of a goal that a Mexican scored in the 1986 World Cup. His name I've forgotten. I think it might be Negrete. Type in Mexico goals 1986 World Cup. It was this mad side scissor kick, just outrageous from Bonazzoli. It's an early contender for goal of the season. It's absolutely out of this world. It's a deserved winner of this game in terms of the quality of the goal. So Cremonese create an incredible story. What a story for Cremonese. Not so much for Milan, but a great start to the season for Napoli. Thanks for listening. That's just a quick reaction to the first evening's games. On Monday, Nimmo will be back with Patrick Hendrick, who's filling in for me because I'm away on Monday, and they'll do a full review of the weekend action, including the other games from Saturday night. Roma played against Bologna, and all the Sunday games as well. So thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the weekend. See you on Monday. Ciao, ciao.